Menus just real quick. You can see that I have a menu already and it's got a lot of stuff in it. One of the things you'll find in the admin is menus. Now, basically, you'll have the choice of adding any page that's already been created. Let me just kind of show you. If I go to pages, all the demo content is here. I mean, there's lots and lots of pages. Uh, but you can add any of these to the menu. Okay, so I'm going to go to menus. And I'm going to just create a new menu because um, these really don't work. So let's create a new menu for ourselves, and I'll just kind of show you how this works. Okay, so I'm going to give the new menu, call it my menu or nav or whatever you want to do, and create it. Okay, and then I'm going to make that the top nav, which will show up at the very top, and then the main nav, which will be the actual buttons. And if you use a sticky header, we'll talk about that later, but you can see I have a choice of adding any of these pages to my menu. Well, that's the home page I'm working on. Let me add that. Okay, so that's the one I just created. That's my home page that I just created. Okay, and let's say that I want, I don't know, let's say I create some other pages, but I'm just going to add a couple more. Okay, demos, let's go, let's add the about. You can add more than one at one time. Let's do about, and let's say we want to, I don't know, let's go to view all. Let's say that I want to, I don't know, a contact page. Now you probably want to build those pages yourself or kind of use the templates. But all right, so I've built my own structure. I have it as set to main, and I'll have to save menu. All right, so what I've done is I've dictated that the page that I'm using here, the one that I built or started building, okay, is the static front page is my home page. That's the one I'm building on. That's the one I built. And then if we go back, okay, once I save everything, you can kind of see now here's my menu that I created. It's best to create your pages first and then add them to the menu. Okay, so you can kind of see they're all linked together. There's the demo page. Here's the home page again. Here's the, I haven't really looked at the contact page, but there's a contact page. And here's an about page. Okay, so basically create your pages, then add them to the menu, okay? Or create your own menu as well. Because there are some other menus in here already. You'll see here they are. But here's mine. Here's the one that I want to use for my website. So what I recommend is go in and build some pages. Go in and build some posts. Now posts are just going to kind of be, can't really do a lot with them. If we take a look at one, let's edit this one. If you're going to have a blog, then posts are what's going to make that blog up. And the blog is really kind of like a, you know, a page where you can post, you know, new images or you know, some findings or articles that you like. They're not really pages. Posts are kind of like a blog. But pages are just pages in themselves. Okay, so you need to go in and just build some pages. You know, create a menu to link all those pages together. If you want to go in and create some posts. So at this point, you should be able to go in and create a you know, some simple pages. And anytime you want to go in and edit pages, you can see I got tons in here. Well, let's just filter them by when I actually built them. It might be a little easier. So there should only be one. Yeah, it's my home page. Or you can search through it here. So if I want to edit this, then I could just go to edit. Okay, it looks like I've created the about page too. But so, and here it is. And so let me show you one thing about the sliders. because there are some pre-made sliders here, and by default they kind of show up as your first option, but they're going to override this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we have full width container with an image, and I'm going to say I want the slider above the work area, and I'm going to use a fusion slider, and there's some pre-made sliders in here, and the fusion slider I want, let's do a beta full screen. Now let's do full width. Full width. I kind of like that one. And hit update. We'll talk about sliders at another point, but let's take a look at my page now, because what's happened is it should have added a slider above all the content I'm making. There it is. Okay, and it's even above the menu, so I might want to put it below. Okay, so let me go back. Let me edit the page. And you can even find some YouTube videos on this demo, or on this theme, as well as documentation. I'll show you where that is. So I want to put it below. Let me. Reload. This is the About page, but like I said, just click Home page. Remember, I used the menus to link that. Okay, so here is my nav area. Here is the slider, and here is the content that I'm building right now. The footer is a totally different thing. We'll talk about that later. But just go in and build some pages, and test it out. And then we'll start building out from there. We have a bunch of settings in the theme settings. Also, if you do have some questions about documentation, okay, you can do a guided tour here. Also, to get the documentation, you might be able to do a search for it, but you really have to have the purchase code to get to the documentation. But sometimes you can find some of the documentation under support. There we go. And it'll kind of guide you through the process of setting this theme up. So you might want to take a look at that. Each theme is going to come with its own documentation. Sometimes they won't give it to you unless you purchase the actual theme. So get in there and kind of look, and if there's something you want to try, just give it an experiment. You're not going to break it.